If you've ever watched the stock market the exact second the London or New York trading day begins, you know the feeling. The screen bursts to life, prices whip up and down, numbers flash red and green, and the sheer speed can feel entirely overwhelming. Everyday traders are often taught to sit at their computers and wait for this specific rush. They watch for a moment when the price suddenly surges in one direction, trying to catch the momentum and ride the wave. When that big green spike hits your screen, the adrenaline kicks in. It feels like a massive, profitable trend is taking off right before your eyes, and you need to jump in immediately so you don't miss out. Most of the time, that sudden surge is a carefully engineered illusion. It's a move designed specifically to trigger the predictable rules that everyday traders follow. What you are actually seeing is an algorithmic trap set by large institutions, known as a high-frequency microstructure opening hook. To understand why they do this, think about a large bank's logistical problem. If they need to buy 1 million shares, simply clicking buy all at once would immediately drive the price up, making their purchase incredibly expensive. They need to find a massive amount of people willing to sell to them at a low price. This display shows a real, documented market event. Notice that sharp, unnatural red spike pulling downward. These sudden hooks, or miniature flash crashes, happen right at the open to shake out smaller traders. The algorithm's goal is to intentionally drive the price down to the exact levels where everyday traders place their safety nets, which are known as stop losses. When the price drops and hits your safety net, your account automatically sells your shares to protect you from losing more money. Multiply that by thousands of panicked traders, and the institution suddenly has a massive flood of cheap shares they can buy all at once. We only fall for the trap because we are looking at the wrong map. To see what is really happening, we have to look at how institutional computers actually view the market data. This institutional order flow heat map acts like an X-ray. It reveals specific price levels where massive amounts of institutional money wait. Look closely at these bright red hot zones. They represent enormous, invisible institutional orders perfectly overlapping where retail traders place safety nets. The smart money isn't guessing where the price will go today. They simply park massive orders in these zones to physically block the falling price and absorb the incoming panic. So the opening bell rings, everyday traders buy the fake surge, the price is quickly pushed down, and it falls straight into the red zone of the heat map. In algorithmic trading, this exact moment is called a systematic liquidity sweep. It is the cold, calculated collection of every retail safety net that just got triggered. This diagram illustrates exactly what happens next. The institution's resting orders absorb all that panic selling. The heat vanishes as their giant position is filled perfectly at their ideal price. The entire process takes place in microseconds. There is no human emotion involved. No one is manually clicking a mouse. Without the fuel provided by retail panic, the big players simply cannot execute their massive orders. Your triggered safety net is the required currency that makes their system work. The very millisecond the institution's massive orders are filled, their hunger for shares is satisfied. They stop pulling the price downward. Released from that downward pressure, the price violently snaps back in the opposite direction. The everyday traders who just got kicked out are left watching the market rise without them. The market has now reached algorithmic equilibrium. The system shuts down its aggressive sweeping tactics and allows the price to return to its true intended trajectory. The initial crash occurred because a computer was completing a scheduled task, refilling its inventory and rebalancing the market back toward fair value. Attempting to manually trade the initial burst of speed at the open puts you in direct competition with machines that process data millions of times faster than any human can react. Instead, wait for the early chaos to settle. Check the heat map to see where the heavy institutional orders are currently parked in the order book, the digital registry where every buy and sell request is essentially waiting in line to be filled. The modern market is a watering hole filled with very large predators. To survive, you don't need to be the biggest animal. You just need to learn how to read the water before you take a drink.